It is the Morristown Christmas Parade, and we are live. I'm Mike Walker with the Citizen Tribune.
I'm Deborah Williams with the Chamber of Commerce.
And this is Christmas Around the World is the theme for this year's Christmas Parade. And as usual, the streets are lined with thousands of people. They're still arriving, so the streets are not completely filled, but they are still arriving. As usual, it will be a big Christmas parade. Deborah, I think it is a record setter again.
I think you're correct, Mike. I think we have about 130 or 40 actual units that'll be going down the street, so we're good.
That's great. Well, we want to go ahead and dive right into interviewing our Grand Marshal. And this year it was an easy choice, wouldn't you say, Deborah?
It was.
And our Grand Marshal for the parade this year is retired Parks and Rec Director Craig Price. Craig, welcome.
Welcome. It is a great welcome to be in our hometown, and as we get into the Christmas season and start out with the parade, just being able to have a great time during this season of joy. And the biggest thing is we can all celebrate the birth of Christ, and that's what we're doing.
Absolutely, Craig. And I want to ask you, and I asked this last year, just go back in your memory and tell us what's your fondest memory of the Christmas parade, because the Christmas parade has been going on for over 50 years. So your fondest memory.
Well, a few years ago, Parks and Rec put units in the parade, and that was always a great event for our staff to look forward to, and it was a good thing.
Well, I have to ask you, how's retired life?
It's every day's a blessing. I'm getting more and more used to it, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm very, very happy.
And you're going to be in the Grand Marshal Parade with 3 granddaughters, I believe?
Yes, all 3 of my granddaughters will be here, Avery, Addison, and Sydney, and we look forward to riding through with them as well.
Well, good. And I'm sure you're enjoying retirement life with those granddaughters.
Very much so. They keep me busy. Me and Sherry are busy.
Well, thank you very much, Craig, for being our Grand Marshal. Again, it was an easy choice for the parade committee since you've been doing the Parks and Rec directorship for so many years. So it was an easy choice.
Very blessed to live in Morristown, Tennessee, and Hamlin County, and so many great people here. And I thank them for 31 years of great service. And the memories are in my heart and forever. Thank you.
Okay, great, Greg. Craig,
Thanks,
thank you
Craig.
very much.
We are blessed to have you with us.
All right, let's bring in now, because we got to get these guys back up to, they're in the parade. So let's bring in Morristown City Mayor Gary Chesney. And Gary, just tell us your thoughts.
Well, this is one of the great traditions of Morristown, is our annual parade. We look forward to it, and it's clear skies and temperatures in the 30s. That's great Christmas parade weather. And you want to bundle up for a Christmas parade, and folks are here, and the lights are bright, and the city has done a nice job of decorating, and I'm enthused and a little bit pumped up, and glad that we have an opportunity to honor our retired Parks and Rec director. I remember when Craig came here, we had a nice Parks and Rec program here, and as our city grew, Craig grew with the Parks and Rec program with it. And he did under his leadership, the number of choices and age groups, men, women, boys, and girls, selection of sports really grew. And I think it's fitting for his first year of retirement that he's honored as the Grand Marshal. And so I'm enthused and happy for Craig.
We're very proud to partner with the city at the Chamber. We like to work on this project together, and we thank you especially for all the police officers, the public works people, the Parks and Rec people. They're doing a bang-up job.
Hey, I think our cops like to be in a Christmas parade too.
I think they do, and I think we just had 15 pizzas delivered along the route, so they're not going to starve.
Well, they're big fans of pizza too. So
that's good. That's good.
Well, I know I asked you this last year, Gary, and you always have a great story, okay? So your fondest memory, you shared with us last year. Do you have another fondest memory of the Christmas parade?
I don't tell the same one. It's from this Christmas parade, I think my fondest memory is when my children were young, and I don't remember which year, but we sat on the corner up here. It was Whitty's at the time. They're at the corner of James and Main, and we had 4 thermoses of hot chocolate because it was colder than this. But those kids weren't going to miss that parade, and we lived up on East 2nd North. And so we walked down, and we had our thermoses full of hot chocolate, and we stayed warm as toast. And the parade was then making the turn to go up James. That's where it ended, and we got to see it all. And that's just a warm memory for me with the children young, and I always remind them when I'm at the Christmas parade, and they tend to remember that story too.
Well, good, Gary. And the Christmas parade is especially for young at heart, youngins. I mean, you can look down the street here on Main Street and see all the bundled up kids and how much they're really going to get into the Christmas parade.
Well, my body's not as young as it used to be, but my heart still is.
That's great. That's great.
Thank you, Gary. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
All right, so, and let's bring in parade sponsor, and we'll bring her in, Aaliyah Helderman, Morristown Pediatric Dentistry, and she came on last year. I think, Aaliyah, you came on last year, and this is your second year of being the major sponsor. Okay, so now who is this?
This is my daughter, Bellamy. Can you say hi?
Hi, Bellamy. Now, was Bellamy here last year?
She was. Yep. So. Family affair.
Yeah, absolutely. So, again, we asked you, so tell us, what continues to go through your mind and through your heart. Just why do you like to be in the sponsor?
Well, Christmas is obviously my favorite time of the year. People who know me, my staff, they know that this is my favorite time of the year. My mom always made it super special for us. We would start Thanksgiving, we watch the Macy's Day Parade. We were always participants in our hometown parade, and then we would do our Christmas lighting of the greens at church. So that first weekend in December was always the kickoff to the holidays, and it was always super special and near and dear to my heart. So my goal is that we continue that for other kids here in Morristown and give them the same experience I got.
We sure do appreciate it and love to this lovely lady and her staff are so supportive of the chamber. They've been a board member, been involved with our young professionals group, and sponsoring the Christmas parade. That might be your favorite thing, huh?
Most definitely.
That's
It
good.
is. It is. We look forward to it every year. All the girls are here and they're ready. Lexi's on the float, so we're ready.
Now Bellamy's here.
Yes.
What about your new little brother? Is he here?
No, he's at home.
He's
at home.
It's too cold for him this year, isn't it?
Well,
I know.
she sees some goodies down there.
So now, what is your? Do you care to share the theme of your float?
I don't know that we actually have a theme. Are we
But
supposed to have a theme? It's a gingerbread house.
It's
we,
the gingerbread.
we rent a float every year. I love Christmas, but I just do not have the time and ability to decorate a float.
But it is a gingerbread.
It's a big old gingerbread house. It's awesome. It's my favorite float we've ever had. So
Great.
It's super cute. Yeah.
Great.
We're looking forward to it. And Bellamy, thank you for being here again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And stay warm.
You're adorable.
Stay warm when you ride on the float.
She said Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
The reindeer's here.
The reindeer is
Elf
here?
on the Shelf came this morning. That kicked off our Christmas season, and she brought her reindeer with her. What's the reindeer's name? Do you remember?
Frosty.
Frosty. Her Elf on the Shelf reindeer Frosty is here on the float with us.
Great.
You're so
great.
cute, Bellamy. Aaliyah, thank you again for providing the sponsorship and taking care of being just the sponsor.
And making the parade possible.
Yes,
Thank
good to see
you.
I haven't seen you in a little bit.
I know it.
I've
It's
been
good.
at home busy with the baby.
And I've been up. I'm glad to be up here instead of down there
I know,
this year.
I know.
Yeah, it's
Well,
fun.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.
Y'all enjoy.
All
Bye,
right.
Bellamy.
All right. And let's bring in now Steve Smith. And Steve is going to, from First Baptist Church, and Steve, you're going to do our invocation. And
Yes, and I'd like to give a warm welcome for Pastor Dean Hahn. He would love to be here. I'm standing in for him. He's recovering from knee surgery, so he wishes Merry Christmas to everyone around the city of Morristown this evening.
great. Well, let's do the invocation, okay, Steve?
Let's, Father, we thank you for this day, and thank you that this is a day to celebrate the coming Christmas season. Lord, I thank you for all that has put so much work into this, that so many can enjoy, the kids, the families, the children. Lord, I just thank you for each one who's worked and labored to do this. And Lord, I pray you'd keep each and every one safe. Let us enjoy this time. But Lord, help us to remember that this time is all about you. You came into this world to die on the cross for our sins. You were born in a stable. Lord, to give life to all who would believe in you. So, Lord, we give you praise today for what you've done. Help us to celebrate you this Christmas season. For it's in Jesus' name we pray, and amen.
And
Thank you very much, Steve. Appreciate you coming on board and doing the invocation.
thank you.
Well, Deborah, I've been waiting all day to talk about. You and I used to do the parade.
We did.
Co-narrate the parade.
We did.
And I was trying to figure out when was that, because it's been
2008 was the last year the chamber did the parade. So I would say that was probably about the time. I think I was still doing it. I was still up here then. I wasn't back on the ground, I don't think. Yeah, it's much more fun up here.
Well, it's great to be back together.
It is.
Because Deborah is the chamber representative as the general manager. So Deborah, if anybody knows, Deborah knows, and she puts so much hard work into the parade, and so it's just a pleasure to be back together and being with someone that really has been with the chamber for so many years and knows what goes on.
A long time. People ask me, when did the parade start? And I've been there 38 years, and it was going on a long time before I was there. So
Wow.
Mr. Jack Fishman tells me some stories from the 50s, so I think he's heard them from other people. I don't think he came until 59, but
Right.
I think, yeah.
Well, we're really happy to broadcast the parade, the Christmas parade. And again, the theme is Christmas around the world. We're really happy to broadcast the parade. Again, the parade is well over 50 years old. And again, we want to thank our sponsor, Dr. Leah Helderman, and all the people at Morristown Pediatric Dentistry.
Absolutely.
And again, so last year we set a record. There were over 2,000 participants, I believe, in the parade. And now I think, if I'm correct, there's well over that.
Well, I think Bill Sanders, who is with Sanders Business Systems, and he's our parade marshal, a volunteer parade marshal, and he says there's 2,200 this year.
Oh, wow. So 2,200 participants.
Yeah.
And so we're just really happy, again, to be a part of it, be in the chamber. There's so many people behind, behind the scenes. And you thanked Gary Chesney, the Mayor Chesney, with the security, parking, and you see all the streets that's blocked off that really needs to happen.
I'll tell you, our city employees, Parks and Rec, the police department, our Hamlin County Sheriff's Department, Public Works, they do a fantastic job. Even little things that you don't really think about, our Public Works people, before we even tell them, they know when the parade is, and they make sure that they go down the street and suck up every leaf that somebody's raked to the side of the road, so that our citizens will have a good place to stand and watch the parade and be safe. And then, of course, they have intersections blocked to help make things safe. They are here at the end of the parade with the street sweepers. And I can almost guarantee you that anyone that drives down Main Street on Friday morning, tomorrow morning, would not even know there was a parade. They do such a great job cleaning up and straightening up and getting the trash, and they do. Of course, our crowds are really conscientious. I think we don't have a lot of messy folks watching the parade.
True, but even with, just the little bit of litter that may happen, I'm usually here after the parade, and they begin immediately.
They do.
They really do.
They'll be the last thing that will come through after Santa Claus is usually a street sweeper, and they do a great job.
Yeah, they're very thorough. Just some things that we'd like for you to know about this year's parade is that we have 8 professional floats that are sponsored by local businesses. These floats come to Morristown from Klein Floats in Catawba, North Carolina, and actually that's been happening for several years now, but it's really intensified. Seems like it's really intensified over the last several years, where businesses have really stepped up to sponsor these the major floats.
They have, Mike, years and years and years ago, we had maybe 10 or 12, and then interest kind of dwindled. Last year we had 4 with people wanting more. And Lee Simkowski, who worked with our Christmas parade team, she contacted Klein Floats early on and said we need at least 8. And we had 8 sold in no time.
And so the judging has taken place, right?
It has.
All right, so when the parade starts, they'll have their place where they placed banners.
Right.
And we'll be able to hopefully announce the winners as they come down Main Street. And again, just want to mention that the theme for this year's parade is Christmas around the world. And there's just so many people to thank. Special thanks to Danny Case with the Morristown Fire Department.
Yep, Danny and Daryl Hodge will be driving the 1916 LaFrance, Morristown's first fire truck.
Yeah, and they did. Last year was the first time? I guess it was because
we didn't have a parade.
We didn't have a parade in 2020. Yeah,
but I'm not sure. I know Santa Claus has always ridden on a fire truck, but I don't know whether it
was the first
when it
fire
switched to the first fire truck.
Well, when that happened last year, to me, it's Santa Claus. It's Santa Claus.
I know.
But then to be on the first fire truck, that was amazing.
It was great. And
yeah.
We also want to thank Lieutenant Ken Hinkle. As I mentioned, we thank the police department, but Lieutenant Hinkle is our liaison between the police department and the chamber, and he and then Chris Bell with the Hamlin County Emergency Management Agency. They're kind of our point people, and they deal with all the other dozens of emergency management people, police auxiliary, and police officers that are here to keep all of our citizens and our parade participants safe.
Yeah, and thanks also to the many volunteers tonight. Special thanks to First Presbyterian Church for providing space for the parade safety meeting and serving snacks to the participants. I mean, you got to have snacks.
Yeah, you got to have snacks.
And then all the other churches and businesses up and down West Main Street that provide their parking lots and assistance for Bill and you and the rest of the volunteers to put the floats and the
to line them up, and get them in order. And we had a team, a trio of parade marshals this year. Bill Sanders with Sanders Business System, and Manny Bedwell, who's with the UT Extension Office here in Hamlin County, and Deborah Aarons with JTAC. Were our 3, they all kind of, Bill took safety and Manny took lineup and Deborah took volunteers, and they worked great together to get the parade going. And then we have Lisa Grooms from the Morristown and Hamlin Lions Club and also the Citizen Tribune. She's helping with it. Angel Sosa with Commercial Bank is helping us out. And so they're down on the west end, making sure only people who are supposed to be in the lineup area get in the lineup area.
Gotcha. We can't stop the train.
Well, Mike, I've been doing this so long that we used to be able to stop the train. There was a day when I first started working on the parade, we would just get on the phone and call Mr. Courtney, who worked down at Norfolk Southern, and said, we've got a parade. And it's going to be from here to here, and will you hold the trains? And he said, sure, and that's how we did it.
Well, I noticed, though, it is slowing down.
Yeah.
And so that's a good thing as far as safety. They do slow down.
And our like I say, our police department, they're at all the intersections, and they keep our people safe who are coming to watch the parade.
Well, there's so many people to thank, and you've already thanked the Public Works Department and Director Paul Brown for the tremendous job that they do before, during, and after, especially after the parade. Again, this is a parade that's been going on for well over 50 years. And I don't see the camera. You can see the camera.
Sounds like it might be.
And it looks like they're about to get started. Yeah, they're making their way down the hill.
Well, we've had so many wonderful parade chairmen who have worked on the parade over the years, and I've had the honor and pleasure to work with some great people. Some are still with us, some are no longer with us. And one of the things that they always took great pride in was if the parade was supposed to start at 7, it started at 7. And it looks to me like it's right at 7, and here they come.
And here they come. You know, the parade always gets started with all the emergency vehicles and the sirens, and the first one that will be leading the charge will be the Morristown Police Department. And but you got police,
Sheriff,
EMS, fire departments, and our I guess all 4 volunteer fire departments.
3 of the
3
4.
of the 4.
I think they kind of alternate so that one is always on duty in case they need to be.
Yeah, that's probably good.
Yeah.
So it's coming into view now, coming down the hill as the Morristown Christmas Parade gets started here on Main Street. The theme again is Christmas around the world.
Now, Mike, the sheriff's department that's coming now, that is Captain David Cribley. He's driving the police, the sheriff's car, and then Sheriff Mullins will be coming later in the parade.
Oh, okay, gotcha. And see, you've got city, county, state.
And then here comes the Morristown Fire Department, and that is their newest engine.
And then coming up in the camera view now is the South Hamlin County Volunteer Fire Department. They've been serving the residents of Hamlin County since 1975.
And this is the West Hamlin County Fire Department. This is Sparky's house, I believe. Or am I not?
No, you're
Nope,
right. Yep.
I'm right. And this teaches young people more about fire safety.
And then coming into view here in just a second is the East Hamlin County Volunteer Fire Department. It is a completely volunteer service. All the volunteer fire departments do such a tremendous job.
Right, and I think South Hamlin County is going by right now, right under us. And then
Yeah, that is south.
This is south, and I'm kind of inexperienced back here with watching the monitor and watching the parade, so.
It's always exciting, though, to have, I know that the kids love the fire departments that come through in a parade.
And they've got, so, you know, this kind of reminds me to remind people, if you have young kids and they like these big trucks, about the Touch a Truck event that the city has usually in September out at the park, and you can come and get up close and personal with all these fun trucks.
Absolutely.
And here comes the EMS. They're doing Christmas from Australia to America.
Well, that goes right along with our theme.
It does.
Christmas around the world.
And of course our rescue squad coming up along with the EMS. And we are so blessed and thankful for the rescue squad and all that they do.
And they do so much more than just respond to whatever. You know, they do so much in the community.
Sure, they do. They're great people, and we appreciate them, and we're proud of them. I think it looks like we must be having some Morristown Utilities things coming up.
It looks so. We've got the emergency vehicles that's gone through and about to come into view here is one of the bigger floats. Like Deborah said, it's the MUS and FiberNet float, and they've got the Power T. Do you see the Power T?
Yeah, and I'll tell you, when Stan Green called me and asked, he said, the theme is Christmas around the world, but he said, we want to do Tennessee Vols. And I said, well, that's in the world, so go for it. So they have told us that that is the best part of the world.
And it's a Rocky Top Christmas.
It's a Rocky Top Christmas.
Well, that's such a cool float, decked out in orange.
And those 2 Christmas trees on that float, Mike, the decorations on there were handmade by the Boys and Girls Club.
Oh, wow. That is cool.
Very nice. And here comes the FiberNet truck as well. And the next unit that we have is kind of a surprise for people. If you've been watching the parade for years, you remember Albert.
I do remember Albert, and I think he's right there with the door open.
He is in the Life Care bus, and Albert has led the Christmas parade for many, many years, and he's living at Life Care Center now, and they brought him so he could enjoy the parade.
We were talking about that earlier, and a lot of people we were talking to remembered Albert.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, here comes the library float. We have a wonderful, wonderful public library, Morristown Hamlin Library, and they are representing Christmas around the world. Now, this particular unit, this is Lakeway Transit. They're our fixed base operator, and their float represents Scotland. They've got the Scottish flag, and they've got tartan, and they've got bagpipes. And I offered my Scotties, Mason and Hamilton, to them to ride on the float. And then we decided that they might be a little too excited to be on the float. But I do want to tell people that if you've not ridden on Morristown Lakeway Transit, and you want to try it out, they do have free ride days, December 9th and December 16th.
9th and 16th.
9th and 16th. Okay, look at our second place car winner is with the Morristown Jeep Club, I guess. We're a little
out of order, but I think this is a first, right, Deborah? The Jeeps?
The Jeeps.
And this is the Jeep Club.
I actually think that the award went to the whole club.
Okay, and that makes sense.
And the award went to the club. They have had some great units here in Morristown, some great events. They've had a Jeep Festival down on Main Street, and they do a lot of great work in the community. And when they asked if they could be in the parade, and I said, well, as long as you decorate, and they said, we're going to decorate.
Well, I think they listened.
I think they did listen.
I mean, the Chad Nixdorf, who is the, not new, but he's on Morristown Tire and Performance Center. I think he's in the parade, he and his wife, Laura, and their family. He's got, I'm sure he's got one of these Jeeps that are decorated. Look at the lights on these Jeeps. They're incredible. It's the Rocky Top Jeep Club, and there's 12 entries in this year's parade. It's a local club with a bunch of Jeep. I mean, they're referred to as Jeepers Bubbles.
They got bubbles coming out of it. Look at these are just fascinating.
They're incredible. Yeah, they really are incredible. Great entry for this year's parade with all these Jeeps.
Okay, here comes, looks like I believe I see a Grinch. Do I see a Grinch coming way down the street?
It does look like the Grinch.
Oh, we've got another police car.
It looks like city and county.
And there's You know, this might be Sheriff Chad Mullins and Chief Deputy Bob Ellis coming down here and their staff. You know, Chad and Bob took office September 1st, and they are committed to just making our community safe. And I guess they got the Grinch under control. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I think so. It's a very rustic truck.
Yes, that is Sheriff Mullins, I think 1962 truck. And now we are just so thankful for our ROTC program at East and West High School. And this is the 5th year of that program, Mike, and it supports both East and West High. Corps Commander is Nick Barber. Olivia Lamb is the Vice Commander, and leading today's color guard is Cadet Colby England. A fine, fine-looking group of young men and women.
And like other parades down through the years, the crowd respects and cheers on the military and the ROTC and the representatives here tonight.
Here, our theme banner just went by, and now here comes our Grand Marshal, Mr. Craig Price.
And his 3 granddaughters. And it's the Citizen, that's the car is beautiful. Don Lovelace from the Citizen Tribune is driving our Grand Marshal, and so it's a beautiful car.
And our city council is going by. That's Mayor Chesney and Mr. Smith and Mr. Pettigo. And here come our county commissioners. And let's see, who do I see? Mike Richardson, and I see Bobby Hahn and Scotty Long and Chris Cutshaw, and they have a nice looking badge.
Yeah, they do.
Those are some pretty nice looking mules, I'll tell you they are. This is coming up is Johnny Denton, who's a new school board member. And he has is it 1962? Is that what?
Yeah, 1962 fire truck.
1962 fire truck. And his school board, I see Mr. Clement, my friend Hugh Clement. And this was Morristown's first aerial ladder truck.
Wow, that is awesome.
It's pretty cool, and that is Johnny's truck. And this truck has central office staff on it. Mike Buchanan is driving this. It's his truck. And these people all work in the central office staff and support all of the people that teach our children and work with our children.
Well, the parade has definitely got started, Deborah.
It has. And beautiful.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Amazing. Coming up here in just a second, it's starting to get in your camera view, will be East High. And their dance team, the 65 members of the band, are directed by Brandon Tilley, and Brandon's been there for several years now.
He has.
And they have earned numerous awards this year, including first place at the John Battle Marching Invitational on October 29th. They're going to get into view here, and we stop them, and they perform. So let's let them perform. This is the East High Band and dance team.
And following the band, well, we'll see them coming into view in just a minute, is the dance team. They are under the direction of Mrs. Lindsay Decker Davis, and they've won, the dance team recently placed 3rd in the varsity Palm Division at the Premier Athletic School Cheer and Dance Showcase, and they perform at all home basketball games, and you can see them perform.
We're very proud of all of our high school, all our schools.
We are. And now we're starting to get into our professional floats, and I believe this must be that gingerbread house.
Yeah, because I can see Dr. Helderman from here, We've got a great view.
We do have a good view.
And that is the gingerbread house that Dr. Leah Helderman was talking about earlier in the interview.
I can see why Bellamy likes that gingerbread house.
And they've got the dog. Do you remember the dog's name?
I don't.
Okay. But it's a famous dog there at Dr. Helderman's office.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about. And here we have Blue Ridge Title and Carol Anderson and Faust. Looks like their family and staff are on that float, and that's a beautiful float. I see lots of pretty things on there. Just beautiful. Here comes Health Star Physicians, and as you can see, they have a star on their float, and they are wishing you happy holidays. A multi-specialty physician-owned group, and are celebrating 27 years here in Morristown. And there's CEO Mickey Brabson and other members of the staff.
Oh, yeah, there's Mickey. Okay. Well, now, so coming into view now with music, and they've got the crowd up and aroused here.
Walter State.
Walter State.
And I believe Dr. Mixa has that trophy. That is that's not Tony, but that's the trophy for being the #1 community college in the state of Tennessee.
Right here in Morristown, folks. Right here. Yeah, great.
And here comes Wallace Distribution Company. They are celebrating 100 years.
Wow.
100 years. And we're happy to see them. Wonderful, wonderful company. Was the heart of downtown for many years with Bradley's Hardware and some of the other
Oh
Wallace.
my gosh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's going back a few years.
I can go back a lot of years, Mike.
And coming into view now is Porter's Tire Store, and they've got several locations right here in Morristown.
And you know, we love Porter's Tire.
Well, there's Roger.
Oh,
That's Roger, right?
They've got a pup on their float. I can always spot the dogs.
Absolutely. Some beautiful floats, Deborah.
Yeah, they are. You know, Klein Float Company is so great to work with. Ed Dotson, if you remember Ed from many, many years ago back
Absolutely.
at WCRK, was a huge fan of the parade, and getting more bands and more floats was his goal. And that's how we found the Klein Float Company in Catawba, North Carolina, and contacted them originally about bringing some floats here. And I believe they go on to Knoxville tomorrow for that parade.
Oh, wow. Well,
So
we're fortunate. We are fortunate.
And we get them first, and we have a community that is so willing to pay for them.
You know, we were saying, well, let's continue with the floats, and then I'll say later what I was going to say. So this is the College Park Pharmacy, Howard's Pharmacy float. They're together, and
Yes.
just two great organizations now. And so that's Chad Huntsman and the crew. Jacob Cox strive to serve the citizens of Morristown by providing exceptional service and low-cost prescription medications.
And here comes McKenna Orthodontics. I see Mark and Allison. I see some others from the staff, and they have a beautiful float. And we are just, we're blessed.
We
We're
are
blessed.
absolutely blessed.
Now, the next group that we're going to see, and there's quite a few of them, I think there's about 30.
You're right, Deborah.
Yeah, and that's the Hamlin County Car Club, and they have some beautiful antique cars. They have, like this one is decorated with a beautiful little angel sitting on the top.
The car club, the Hamilton County Car Club, with all their vintage cars and trucks and all the vehicles, are always, and I do mean always, a crowd favorite.
They are. They have some beautiful, beautiful cars, and they've decorated. This one we see coming up, we have a Christmas tree, and we get some wreaths, and
I mean, you got Chevelles, Malibus, Mustangs. I mean, just vintage cars. And with there being over 30 entries, it's going to be a while that we that's an about a 68 Camaro, and that's a newer Challenger. I'm testing my knowledge here, Deborah.
But I can tell you, my mother tells me when I was 3 years old, we lived on U.S. Highway 1 in Florida, and I could sit in the front yard and name, that's a Chevrolet, that's an Oldsmobile, that's a Pontiac. But that's when there was only like a Chevrolet, Oldsmobile, Pontiac, and a Buick. That was in a Ford, maybe. Now there's a lot more things to notice, but these cars sure take us back, don't they?
You know, and one of the things too, another thing, Deborah, is that, you know, it was requested that the car club decorate as many cars as they could, and they've answered that call. You can see, looks like a newer truck that's coming. It's bright.
It's bright. It's really bright.
Yeah, and so right now you can see the red Camaro in your view. And then you're seeing a Chevrolet. I don't know if that's a Nova.
I'm glad you're doing this, Mike, because I don't have a clue what we're looking at. I just know they're pretty.
They are pretty. And it just makes you drool. Just to be quite honest, makes you drool. And there's that's an older Ford truck with all the lights, and then more entries from the Hamilton County Car Club. With vintage vehicles and some newer vehicles as well.
Those are pretty silver bells on the front of the one that just went by us. And then, now what's this?
Now you're really going to
what's
tell.
This little red one coming up here?
You know, I don't know.
It's cute.
It's pretty.
And that truck is pretty.
Oh, I'd love that truck now. And they really pump a lot of energy, not just dollars, but a lot of energy into these vehicles.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now here we have an old truck hauling an old car.
And a great paint job on the hood of that old truck.
It sure is. It sure is.
They certainly take pride.
They do, Mike. Now, is this a Corvair coming up?
I do believe you're correct.
My dad had a 61 Corvair.
Oh, wow.
So it was white with red inside, so I recognize that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
This is a pretty fancy thing. And we've got some little ones in this one coming up.
Now, that looks like an El Camino.
I think I might have recognized that one too.
And then this is coming in view now is a newer Mustang. But again, the fact is they did decorate the vehicles.
They're decorated and they're waving and have lights. Some of them have lights, and
I think that's the growl of a Mustang.
They have sound.
I always say the growl of a Mustang. While we're still looking at the last three entries of the car club.
This might be Morristown Auto Sales. I think I saw.
Oh, okay, Morristown Auto Sales.
Yeah, they had 4. Ooh, that's cute with the Valentines on it from Morristown Auto Sales, and then we've got one more. And they, their motto is "Buy here, pay here." Come
Good old
see
Al.
Al and his crew.
Yeah, they're open 6 days a week, 9 to 6.
Now, you had a story you were going to tell me before. Do you remember what it was?
Well, I don't remember because I just get so excited.
I know when you see all the cars.
Well, while we have just a little bit of a break, again, just want to thank all the volunteers, all the sponsors, everybody, especially Morristown Pediatric Dentistry for being our main major sponsor here, and just everybody that's behind Bill Sanders. With Sanders Business Systems, Bill puts a lot of time and effort along with you, Deborah.
And Manny Bedwell and Deborah Aarons, they were our 3 great co-marshals this year.
Yeah, so they put a lot of time, effort, energy, especially leading up to, but then the morning, I think it was like noon, maybe a little bit before, maybe a little bit after. The numbers were already out. People are already starting to arrive and line up.
to arrive and decorate their floats.
Oh, yeah.
And that was good. They decorated their floats, got ready for the judging. The judging started at 5:30. And we want to thank Kim Dudash and her husband and Tawana Stone were our judges. They came to
Miss Tennessee.
Many
years ago.
She wouldn't want you to say
No, that's true. Many.
Just a few years ago.
Just a few years.
But they did. I'm sure they did a great job. I know we had seen the Jeep Club and their award, and then I know we'll be seeing 3 float winners coming along.
Yep, that's right.
And the first place car will be coming along. But it looks like down the road we have Kingswood Home for Children celebrating 80 years.
You know, that's such a great organization, and there's several
Wonderful.
businesses. I know several. I know one for sure that really gets behind and donates and just really gets behind his porters.
Yeah.
I know Roger has a heart for Kingswood School, and they do such a great job.
They do. They're committed to providing a safe and nurturing environment for every child, and it's a private residential home for children ages 5 through 18. And look at their beautiful, beautiful float.
And Deborah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is some of the children that are at Kingswood.
It is some of the children and the house parents and staff and volunteers.
Wow.
There, I see the world there.
I do see
the
it.
world. So we are so happy to see them. And this is a great group of people coming here. This is quality plumbing, heating, and cooling.
Well, they got some of my money here recently.
They got a lot of mine, too. We have a brand new HVAC at our house.
Oh, wow.
But they are just so committed, and they're great, and they have a beautiful, beautiful float. And
wow.
lots of lights. And, you know, the Grinch stole their plumbing and their pipes. So they're telling you if that happens to you, you can call them and they'll fix it. That is fantastic. And look at those lights on their car. And here comes Kidwell's Ridge Baptist Church.
They're located at 3250 Kidwell's Ridge Road. Has children's, youth, and adult programs. Sunday school is at 10 for all ages.
And I thank them for putting the name of their unit right on the front.
Right on the
so
hood.
we can see that.
That makes it much easier.
It sure does. And I think these next 3 are the American Legion.
You know, and that's a great organization because it's veterans helping
veterans.
and I definitely have a heart for veterans.
And I believe Mr. Nicely's in one of those vehicles. Well, he might be in that last truck. We'll have to see. But look at those pretty lights on that
On the hood.
Yeah. That is just beautiful.
And then again on the fenders, the back fenders, and on the cover of the bed of the truck.
They've done
Wow.
a great job. They have done a great job. They take care of those pretty trucks, don't they?
Absolutely.
And coming up is Westview Baptist Church.
The youth group and children's ministry is led by Paula Williams and Dwayne McBee. Pastor is Travis Webb.
Look at those pretty trees coming up in there. That is just gorgeous. Oh, here comes Sutherland Family Farm. Look at that, the first place float, Mike.
Oh, my goodness. Look at that. Wow.
They have opened their farm to share with you and your family. They are on Bent Creek in Whitesburg, and they have 150,000 lights, trackless train hayride, Christmas music, private fire pits, and a private party room.
Yeah, go ahead.
Santa, Mrs. Claus, elves, and one thing I didn't type that they put in was if you're hungry, they can take care of that too. So I think you can get some food.
Well, I can definitely see why they got first place.
They did a beautiful job. And here come the Knoxville TVA Employees Credit Union. Or are these the Shriners? I can't tell.
Well, you got the Shriners coming up.
The Shriners
Yeah.
are coming up.
So again, we talk about crowd favorites. The antique cars, the Hammond County Car Club, the Jeeps. This is another crowd favorite, especially with I think that's a Corvette.
Well, it's little, whatever it is.
And the crowd just loves when the Shriners come through with their go-karts, their ATVs, their
Clowns.
the clowns. Yeah, absolutely. And it's the Shriners.
I really think it would be fun to try to drive one of those little things.
I don't know. You might not want me to.
I mean, I'd just like to try it. Here they're coming with their trailer.
Yep.
And then I think this little train that's going to be coming into view in just a few minutes.
That is still part of the Shriners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One thing about it, the Shriners love kids.
They do. They do, and they do such great work for kids. Now here comes Knoxville TVA Employees Credit Union in the white Jeep. I think that's Beth driving.
I was going to say, is that Beth?
I think it is.
She is in that Jeep. You can find Beth. If it indeed is Beth, you can find
Right.
Beth in that Jeep all the time. Oh, and they've got a float.
Yeah.
I wonder if this is employees and families.
That would be my guess. I think it is. And those are some nice big Christmas decorations.
Absolutely.
Here we go. This is West. These next two units are driven by Livesey Trucking. The first one is representing the FFA at West High School, and the next one is representing Livesey Trucking. And they've been in the parade before. They come together, and someone from Livesey Trucking drives both the FFA students. And
it's so good to have FFA's been around forever. And it's good that they're still around and still vibrant.
They are.
Yeah.
And, kids are doing such wonderful, they're still working with cattle and sheep and farm activities. And okay, here comes the Lowland Credit Union float.
And this is their employees and the families on the Lowland Credit Union float.
And they're playing some pretty good music, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, I think I remembered. We were saying earlier that is the crowd going to be down a little bit? And then all of a sudden, they're here.
They're here. I think they are.
Because you can look up and down the street, and there's thousands of people that I guess they all just came at the last minute, but they're here.
Here we have Morristown Baptist Tabernacle, and they have some beautiful lights on their truck and angels on their float.
Pastor is Doug Benton.
Mike, we were in talking about the crowd. I think the last year and this year, it may not be look quite as big here in the middle of downtown, but part of that is we have stretched the route out a little bit more, going all the way to Home Trust Bank. Mayor Chesney mentioned he remembered when they used to turn at James Street,
right,
and end at the high school. And that was great for parents picking people up, but we hated to cross the railroad track.
Right, yeah.
So now that the parade stretches out all the way to Evans Avenue and Home Trust Bank, I think that's why maybe people are not as crowded in downtown. Twilight roller skating rink.
So, Deborah, you would probably know this. Has it been a while since they've had an entry?
Oh, yes, I think it has been.
And here they are.
And here they are, and they're keeping skating alive
They're
since
skating.
1975.
They've got skaters.
They do have skaters.
Wow.
Well, I heard somebody say their son was skating in the parade, and I didn't know what she meant, but now I do. They asked us to check out their Facebook page. They've got some great events coming up: Ugly Sweater Night, Christian Night, and their New Year's Eve all-night skate.
And they've been, you said 75, so they've been around for almost 50 years.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Incredible.
Here comes Avalon Hospice. And they are soon to have a name change. They'll soon be Gentiva, and they provide compassionate in-home comfort care to your loved ones, preserving dignity and improving their quality of life. They serve Hamlin and 7 surrounding counties. Now, this is a fun-looking unit coming down
It
the
really
street.
is, and I want to say that it kind of looks like, I'll wait till they get more in view, but no, it is Family Fun Zone.
Family Fun Zone.
Because you can see the glittering lights that they have laser tag, they have a jump, they have bowling, and then coming on into view, it has more signs of what they axe throwing. Have you done the axe
I
throwing?
have not done axe throwing. I have not. Escape rooms and arcades, and I know that these are all things that people who are more adventurous than I am like to try to do.
Well, it's located there in the mall, and Family Fun Zone.
They also have catering, a bar, and a restaurant, so they can provide a lot of fun.
Now, coming into view now is the Hamlin County Democratic Executive Committee. And Hamlin County Democrats are supporting the people of Ukraine in their fight for freedom and democracy by honoring them in their traditional Christmas celebration.
Next up, I believe we have the float from JTech. This is a Japanese-inspired float representing JTech's history, including a pagoda and a river with rocks. And the International Theme Parade was just a great opportunity for them to showcase.
People that's not from here, you tell them that how much industry there is in Hamlin County, they say, what?
Right. Here comes Citizens National Bank. They've been serving Hamlin County for 4 years, and they're located down at Evan Green Plaza next to Aubrey's. And I believe we can hear I think we can even see now the Lakeway Christian Academy band and cheerleaders and flag corps, and I believe they even have the Cornerstone.
They're a great Christian private organization, school for education, and let's listen to them perform.
Yeah.
Very good. Lakeway Christian Academy band, cheerleaders, and the Cornerstone Elementary age baton twirlers and cheerleaders.
I think the band is going to get past us here, and then we'll see the cheerleaders, and I think the baton twirlers are at the end. Lakeway, they're the Lakeway Lions. I see the lion coming. I see a golden retriever that looks like a lion.
And then there's Cornerstone, which is part of it.
Right, and they're little baton twirlers and they're cheerleaders. And right behind them is Gutters and More.
When I'm coming to work in the morning, I always see their trucks going to a job. It's interesting. Every morning.
Johnny Denton, he's a fun one.
He is, absolutely.
And here comes the girls from Girls Incorporated. They are celebrating 50 years this year in Hamlin County, and they were founded in 1972 by members of the Pilot Club. And one of my favorite expressions and their motto is to inspire girls to be strong, smart, and bold. And I think that's great.
I do too. Now coming into your camera view is Landmark Church of God. Representing the church are members of their student ministries, senior adults, and the senior pastor, Reverend Ray Pratt.
And I believe I see another Grinch. You know, the Grinch is getting to be one of the most popular Christmas figures.
There's four. There's four Grinches.
I think last year we had 6 or 7. So, yeah.
So we're behind last year's pace for Grinches.
But we're not halfway through the parade yet, so we are.
You know, that's incredible you say that, Deborah. We're not even halfway through.
No, we're not. We are not.
It just shows you that people really get into the Morristown Christmas Parade.
Here comes the Landmark Church of God.
That's their van. Again, Landmark Church of God is located at 334 Montview Avenue here in Morristown.
And
coming into view now is WCRK. That looks like Ed Arnold.
I believe it's Ed Arnold, our hometown radio station, celebrating 75 years.
Wow.
We've had 50 for Girls Inc., 75, and then Wallace Hardware, 100. We've got some long-established businesses here in Morristown. And oh boy, look at talking about around the world. Here comes Colgate Palmolive.
Wow, they took it to heart, the Christmas theme.
They sure did. Look at that global toothpaste, and you know, all the total toothpaste in the world is made in Morristown.
That is incredible. That speaks high of Morristown. Here's 104.7. It's your hometown country station, and the van is driven by Robin Keith.
Coming down the street, our next unit is East Tennessee Spine and Orthopedic Specialist, and these smiling faces are led by Dr. Nicholas Grimaldi, serving Morristown for more than 12 years.
Again, while we just got just a little bit of a break, the theme for this year's Morristown Christmas Parade is Christmas Around the World, and so many entries here are doing just that, just like the Colgate.
Colgate, yep. and J-Tech, and we have seen in the libraries float. We have seen some great, and of course I can't forget the Scotties on the Lakeway Transit float with the tartan and the bagpipes. Coming into view now is Jet's Pizza. They are locally owned and operated. They have, I'll just give them a plug, they provided the pizza for all of our police officers that are
so
working.
It was Jets, okay.
It was Jets Pizza, so we're glad. And here comes Eli Nix.
He's driving a Pinehurst Green Oldsmobile, just as if you were curious.
It's pretty.
Yeah, it's a Cutlass, assembled in Arlington, Texas. And then here's the Grand True Value Rental. You can rent. I guess you can rent the 12-passenger golf cart.
That's pretty impressive. I've not really seen a 12-passenger golf cart.
Well, it says in our notes it's 6-person and 8-person, but I think they piled a few more on there.
I think they have. So here come the Great Smoky Mountain Council of the Boy Scouts. And I think they're going to be coming for a while. There's troops.
Oh, wow.
All of the troops and packs from the Morristown area.
Yeah, I just turned around from looking at the golf carts, and I'm seeing Boy Scouts for a couple of blocks.
I know it.
So this is a district that serves Granger, Hamlin, Jefferson, Sevier, and southern Knox counties. Its youth ages 5 to 18. Local troops and packs are marching tonight. And would you say maybe a couple of hundred or more?
I don't think they put that many on their list, but I'd say it looks like at least 100 and 120. I think it's a it's a good crowd. You've got Boy Scouts and parents and pack leaders and troop leaders, and we're very, the Boy Scouts. It's a great opportunity for young people.
Absolutely, it is.
And coming up now, I'm going to let you say this one. I'm not sure I'm going to.
Thank you very much.
Is it Fresenius?
You did it. You splendid.
Did I do it just like you'd said?
That's exactly what I would have said.
Medical care. They provide dialysis treatment for people whose kidneys are no longer working, and they provide training for people who want to do at-home dialysis and are committed to providing superior care for the patients. And they have a lovely, lovely float. And they are followed by All Saints Episcopal School.
Can you believe that the school was established? Is this right? 1967?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think they started out as like pre-K and the little ones, and they haven't served all the way up to the 8th grade that long, but they have been a wonderful, wonderful educational service to our community.
And then coming into view, your camera view now is Road Junction Missionary Baptist Church. The church's youth group is spreading the love of Jesus throughout their community, reminding everyone that Jesus is the reason for the season.
Absolutely.
And it's a beautiful float. It's kind of a homemade, old-fashioned float.
Rustic float.
And
look at the world, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Again, another float that represents Christmas around the world, which is the Christmas the Christmas parade theme this year.
They've done just a lovely job. They've got a little flags from lots of countries on that float, I noticed. And here comes a TriStar Physical Therapy.
Riding on the float is the Morristown Clinic staff and their families. It is their honor to provide a positive therapy experience for Morristown and surrounding counties.
Now, this group that's coming up next, Greenworks, they are a new industry located here in Morristown. They're in the old GE building, and they've got all kinds of little fun gadgets that they're zero-turn mowers, and they're all battery powered.
I was going to say they're battery powered.
And oh gosh, they've got a Grinch riding on one of those fancy little
number 5.
Number
so
5.
We're at 5.
Number 5. But they have been and these are these are like these batteries will hold a charge for 8 to 10 hours. These are big commercial units, and they have jumped in as just a great community member. They have provided door prizes for Rose Center activities, for the Chamber Golf Tournament and other golf tournaments. They're a fantastic.
Well, we're fortunate to have
citizen.
them here. Yes,
we
absolutely.
I believe this is Hillcrest Baptist Church coming up.
They're located at 410 South Liberty Hill Road. Their float represents an Appalachian Christmas with simple traditions sharing the story of Jesus' birth.
They just have like popcorn stringing, tree decorating, stacked cakes, and bluegrass gospel music. That's some pretty fun stuff. Yeah, I hadn't had any of that pizza, so a stacked cake sounds pretty good right now.
It sure does. Yeah, absolutely it does.
Coming into view, we have Fortner Excavating and Landscaping, and they've been servicing the Lakeway area for more than 30 years.
And you can call them at 423-312-2579. Got a Bobcat on their float. Oh, it just about coming into view. To me, this is a very popular float just because it's Princess Parties by Mary, and there's a bunch of princesses.
Look who's on the float. I think there's Cinderella and Elsa and Anna. Now, wouldn't little girls love to have those come to their birthday parties? Woo!
And I don't recall them being in the parade before.
They were in last year.
They
It was
were
her
last
first
year.
But she didn't have a float. She just had a little truck.
Oh, okay.
But they have parties over at Rose Center. They can do private parties, and Mary Catherine is just a nice young entrepreneur that's doing a great job.
Well, coming into view now is always a crowd favorite, just because Jana brings a lot. It's hundreds of girls that is part of the Jana School of Gymnastics. They're celebrating their 30th year. I remember when Jana was a UT cheerleader.
I know it. But they've been a staple in the Christmas parade for a long time.
Yeah, and they will stop here in just a few minutes and perform, and it's all in unison, and Jana gets those girls going, so we're about to see them perform, and we'll pause.
And if you thought there were a lot of Boy Scouts,
oh yeah, absolutely.
you can see little girls way down. Now that would keep you physically fit, would it not?
It absolutely would, and I mean, it's such an esteem builder for these kids.
Oh, I know it.
I mean, Jana does a great job.
And look at all the parental support. We have all these parents out in the cold marching with them. You know, Jana's got a new location.
She does, yeah, absolutely,
Yes,
yeah.
and I don't think she put it on her registration form, but I think other than the parade, I believe she said they're taking this month off and getting moved and getting settled in.
I think it's a couple of blocks that they take up with all their gymnastics and dancing.
I think it is, and they're just great. And you know, Mike, they look warm.
They really do.
They've got their little ear muffs and hats and gloves, and they're dancing around, and looks like we've got a first place car coming up, maybe?
It looks like from this distance it may be.
It's a first place something, because I can read that far without my glasses.
Again, as you look down the main street here, of course there goes Jana's kids, but you can look at the thousands of people that are lining the streets here in Morristown on Main Street for the Morristown Christmas Parade. Again, the theme for this year is Christmas around the world. We're up to 5 Grinches.
Okay.
So
5
just
Grinches.
keeping up with how many Grinches?
This is the first place car winner, and it's Vicki Hadaway and her husband Bill, and they're in their 2007 Pontiac convertible. Next we have 61 Men of Vision. They were established in August of 2019, and it's African American men who have come together to make a difference in the community, civically, socially, and economically. RB Masonry.
Yep.
Looks like.
Yep. I'm going. I'm trying to look in the bed of the truck. That's equipment that they use for their business.
And who have we got here?
This is Cash Express, I believe.
It's the girls from Cash Express.
Yep. The pen and Post-it note girls.
Yes. And here comes Jane Goforth. Jane and her grandchildren are riding in this. And here comes, number 6 is coming. Grinch number 6.
Oh, number 6.
Mike?
So let me ask you, has Walmart been in the parade recently?
No, this is, I think, their first time in the parade, and this is the Walmart neighborhood market
On Buffalo Trail.
and
Gotcha.
we're so happy to have them in the parade.
So 6 Grinches and counting.
6 Grinches and counting. I believe we have Morristown bail bonds coming up. Oh no, this is still Walmart Neighborhood Market.
That looks like Grinch eyes on the windshield.
It
I
sure
don't know.
does, and all those green lights. I think we're celebrating the Grinch.
So coming into view now is Summit ATA. They're celebrating 15 years of changing lives here in Morristown. And shout out to Pete Burrell. He's got our stop sign for the performers.
He does. He's working down there, and they're going to do a demonstration for us, I believe, here with the traditional staff skills. So we'll watch them perform.
You know, Deborah, it's one thing about Summit ATA, they teach discipline.
They sure do. They sure do, Mike. And any of the martial arts are such good discipline for young people.
Absolutely,
to be involved
yeah.
in.
Oh, wow, they're still performing with lightsabers. You know, Deborah, we started stopping the some entries in the parade to perform maybe 10 to 15, 12, 2 years ago.
It's been about 10 years ago, 10, 12 years, yeah.
You know, and the vision, I mean, I was part of the committee at the time, and the vision was because Macy's stops and have performances. So, you know, why not Morristown?
Why not Morristown? Here comes some BMX bicycle group. These are bikers from the local trap, and they're performing the local track. Look, we got a nice beard on that fella.
Now, they haven't been an entry in recent years.
They haven't been in recently. Yeah, I think they're back, and I'm glad. And coming up behind them is
this is kind of cool.
the Lakeway Area Pickleball Association.
Are they going? Are they going to play? They've got a net.
I don't know. I'll tell you, our Leadership Morristown class went and had a pickleball lesson this year, and it is the fastest growing sport.
It really is. Yeah.
And I think I played a little bit. It was kind of fun.
So you've played pickleball?
On just kind of a test run, but.
And in our view now is Morristown Hamlin Healthcare System. They're 125 years and look forward to many more. And they got the Jingle Run for Hope coming up.
I think next weekend, the 10th, or I don't know if it's on there. I think I just read it on their sign.
No, I believe it is, yep.
I think the ladies from Buff City Soap just went by, or are coming by. They are.
Are they handing out soap?
They're handing out goodies from.
They really are.
They really are.
And this is their first year, right?
This is their first year.
Okay.
Okay. This looks like Morristown bail bonds. Number 66, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
Morristown bail bonds. And they've decorated their vehicle with lights.
Now we have our second place float winner coming into view. And that is McNeil's Steel.
It's a family-owned, full-line steel distributor with more than 160 semi-tractor trailers and straight trucks in their delivery fleet. And I'm assuming this is a... is that a train? It's a train.
It's a train with, I believe, that gifts from they're delivering Christmas gifts and
around the world.
steam coming out of that steam engine.
Wow. Another phenomenal
What a
boat.
beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful float.
Yeah.
Just beautiful. Just a beautiful float. And now we have coming up behind them Regency Retirement Village, a Christian-based company with 7 locations. They offer memory care, assisted living, and independent living, and also short-term respite care. And the people who live at Regency, they get the opportunity for a lot of fun events and a lot of outings.
They do take care of them.
They do. Looks like after Regency, we have J&B Earthworks. They have got some pretty nice equipment, and it's decorated awfully pretty.
Oh, yeah, that's a backhoe.
A beautiful, yeah, that's the best looking backhoe I've ever seen, and so colorful and shiny.
Imagine that one coming to your property and doing some backhoe work.
I wouldn't even mind that. That'd be great. And coming up with those flashing lights is the Russellville-Whitesburg Utility District. They serve customers in Hamlin, Hawkins, and Greene County. And this float was decorated by their employees and families, and they are riding on the float.
Again, Deborah, just a great representation and participation in this year's Christmas parade. It's a little over 100 or more entries.
100 different businesses, but some of them have multiple units. So yeah,
Right.
It's a great. And here comes ABC Supply. They
Yes.
are the nation's largest wholesale distributor. And they've got a beautiful truck. Their employees, it looks like, and families are on that truck. And is that a pretty neat little forklift thing there at the end?
I believe it is.
I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot.
Right here at the Christmas parade.
Right here at Christmas parade. Our next unit coming up is the Heritage Center in Morristown. They are a 197-bed skilled rehab and long-term care facility. They're owned by Life Care Centers of America, and they also offer outpatient rehab. And you can see their banners on the side have flags from around the world.
And coming into view now is just about here in a second is the Clayton Supply facility for Clayton Homes. They supply materials to 15 home building groups. And what a float.
It's beautiful.
Wow. They've gone all out with music.
And they're even at the North Pole. What a great float.
Wow, they've done a great job.
I believe we've got Sunset Towing coming up. They have been serving the Lakeway area for 20 years and offer 24-hour service. And it doesn't matter, you can run out of gas, had an accident, your car won't start, you've locked your keys, anything bad that might happen to you, they will come and help you out.
So in other words, Murphy's Law.
Murphy's Law.
And then next, coming into view is Results Physiotherapy. Come and see physical therapist Jason Wilder and Anthony Tullock, PTA.
Jenna Parks.
Jenna Parks and Office Coordinator Kendra Gilmer for all your aches and pains. And the older you get, you have more aches and pains.
You sure do. Okay, the next unit coming into view is Operation Lifesaver, which is a national program dedicated to educate people on the dangers of trying to beat the train at a crossing.
Wow, and look at their flow.
That is just beautiful.
That's beautiful. It's beautiful.
And look, Mr. Manning is dressed up in his conductor's uniform.
Wow.
That's just gorgeous. You know, I was talking to him today when he came by the chamber, and he's used to speak when they had driver's ed. He would go to all the schools and speak about the dangers of don't try to beat the train.
No.
When the crossing guard gates come down, stop.
I mean, why do that, you know?
This is the Totally Studios.
It's the Toad Wagon.
The Toad Wagon, yeah.
It's pulling Totally and Toad. Wow, say that several times fast. Totally and Toad. It's a small family-owned business here on Main Street.
And next coming up, we have Bella Health.
That's located down in what used to be the Old Fred's shopping center. And that's at the Avenue, and
Okay.
they're located there. They do biomedical hormone replacement, weight loss, injections, laser hair removal, facials.
Now here comes
Wow.
Talk about around the world, celebrating Christmas around the world. Look at these beautiful, beautiful costumes. This is Ola Lakeway's entry.
You know, their festival float represents the diversity of Hamlin County. And one thing about it, they've got, look at the float. Anyways, one thing about it, I tell people all the time that for the size of Hamlin County, we're one of the most diversified counties in the state and probably in the region.
Just beautiful. And listen to this gorgeous music.
And he's playing it live.
Live music. It's just fantastic.
Wow. They did a great job on that float.
They did. Coming into view next is the Motown Diamonds Fast Pitch, which is a competitive travel fast pitch softball organization. It's for girls ranging from 8 to 14, and they have a total of 5 teams within the organization. They play tournaments, Knoxville to Tri-Cities, and with other teams in the Lakeway area.
And I'm assuming this is most, if not all, the players.
Looks like it probably is.
Look at the scoreboard.
That's pretty nice.
It's 11-1.
It's 11-1, and I'm sure that 11 is the Morristown team.
There's been a lot of creativity, Deborah.
And color.
Yeah.
Just so many, beautiful color in these floats.
You know, you've been doing this for years. I've been doing it for years. And I think you would agree. I think we've seen more creativity and more color.
I do too.
Yeah.
These floats have been, I would not have wanted to have been a judge.
They had their work cut out.
They did. I mean, we could have given a dozen prizes for beautiful, beautiful floats.
You know, I mean, we got several more entries to come. And as you look up the street, there's some big floats still to come.
Yes.
You know, so again, it's just a wonderful, the atmosphere tonight is wonderful, you know, and we talk about the overhead sidewalks being one. I think there may be another city in the country.
Maybe not in this country.
Okay, maybe it's in another country.
Yeah, I think so.
But, you know, to have the overhead sidewalks and people up on the sidewalks and everybody having a good time and lining up and down, I mean, it's great. It's just great.
It's great. Looks like we have the Morristown Gladiators coming. This is a youth tackle football cheerleading program, and the age groups are 5 to 7, 8 to 9, and 10 to 11, and they've been going on in Hamlin County since 2015. Heath Carr is the director. And this, I believe this, I know they were marching, but it says he's pulling the float, so this must be, and I see 2 goalposts on this float.
So you would think that would be the gladiators.
I'll bet that's the gladiators.
And I'm assuming, that all the people that's, wow, there's a lot on that float,
Yeah.
but then there's a lot of parents and support people walking beside and around the float.
Right.
And that counts. I mean, it's big.
Yeah. That's what's so great about these youth programs. They have such tremendous parental support.
Oh, they're in their uniforms. This makes it, and look at the lights to the stadium.
Look just like stadium
Wow.
lights, don't they? What a great float. What a great float. Coming up next is Aztec 423 Aztec bail bonds. I see they've got somebody in the county jail, and it looks like it's the Grinch.
It's the Grinch. So they've thrown the Grinch in jail.
He's not real live Grinch, so should
No.
we count him? But he needs to be in jail, doesn't he? And then this is another Clayton supply. This is the 2 Lux doors. This is manufacturing 2, and they employ 65 team members, and they build interior doors that are used in Clayton homes. And Jody and I actually went to tour that plant during manufacturing week, and we got to see them make and paint and cut those doors. It was amazing.
Well, they've built a gingerbread house tonight.
Yes. And here comes Douglas Cherokee Economic Authority.
It's a nonprofit community action agency that has several programs to help low-income families and seniors to be self-sufficient.
Next, coming up, we have DeWitt Place and Sun, Sand, and Seniors. Their bus is filled with senior residents who are ready for a tropical Christmas. I think sometimes I'm ready for a tropical Christmas.
After shivering tonight, I think we both are.
Right.
Now, I have a question for you, Deborah, as DeWitt Place goes through the camera, and coming up in the camera view is Coca-Cola. Now, has Coca-Cola been in as an entry in recent years?
I don't remember them.
Well, great representation with a tricked-out truck, a Coca-Cola truck with all the lights, and they've done the cab and the trailer.
They've done a beautiful
That's
job.
beautiful.
And I tell you, I'm one of their big customers. I won't hesitate to say that. And here come a couple of units from GFL. They have been in Morristown for more than 30 years and are proud of their employees who provide safe and dependable service. And they invite you to contact them for all of your disposal and collection needs. And I noticed one of those has a Toys for Tots drop-off sign on the front. So they are a drop-off location for Toys for Tots.
Certainly can't miss that truck, either one of these trucks coming down the road. That lime green. That's their signature color.
It sure is.
And you can hear them, and they're coming into camera view.
They sure are. The Morristown West High Trojan Band. And they are under the direction of band director Jared Box.
And of course, Pete will stop them here in just a minute or just a few seconds, and they'll perform for the crowd, and we'll pause while they perform.
We will.
And there you have it, the Morristown West High Marching Band under the direction of Mr. Jared Box.
They sounded pretty good, didn't they?
They
That
sure
was a
did, yeah.
Great rendition of Jingle Bells. And I believe that this truck, I believe Jared told me this is the band's truck. He carries all their instruments and provides them with transport when they go to football games and in parades and stuff like that. Oh, look at Santa coming out of the tree.
And then after the Morristown Trojan Band trailer, coming into view now is our two of our parade marshals, Bill and Deborah.
Not me, Deborah, but Deborah Aaron's Deborah.
Right.
And here he comes. This is who we've all been waiting for. Coming into view right now is Morristown's first fire truck and everybody's favorite, Santa Claus.
Santa Claus riding a 1916 American LaFrance. Morristown's first fire truck. Lieutenant Darrell Hodge and liaison officer Danny Case are escorting Santa. And there you have it, Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. Who better than Santa? And we are, we talked about the parade being over, of course, when Santa comes by, but I see those street sweepers right down the road.
Well, you said it.
We've talked about what a great job Paul Brown and his staff do. We want to thank Larry Clark, Assistant City Administrator, who's kind of over the Public Works Division and all that Larry does, and everybody at the city. So we're just so happy and thankful to have the kind of community that we do.
Yeah, and again, just all the thanks for our sponsor, Morristown Pediatric Dentistry, and all the volunteer. I mean, wouldn't you say there's probably hundreds? Oh, well, there is. Yeah. There's hundreds of volunteers that get behind before, during, after, that make this parade. I think it's honestly, I want to say it rivals Gatlinburg, Knoxville, some of the bigger city parades.
This year the floats were just, and the floats we've had more and more floats every year. And of course the Chamber's this is only the second year we've had it back since we gave it up back in 2008. But the participation with floats and businesses wanting to decorate floats and make them, as we said, so colorful and creative. It's just been fantastic.
Well, last year I was so excited that we were breaking the record and had over 2,000 participants.
Yeah.
And then this year we break another record. Who knows what the future holds? But the Morristown Christmas Parade is enjoyed by all the participants in the parade, and then all the thousands of people that lined up and down Main Street.
Absolutely.
And so, again, our theme has been Christmas around the world. As Deborah and I have said, some great creativity, some great color representing the floats and the entries in the parade. It's been wonderful.
It's been a fantastic parade, and we're just happy to be here. We're happy to be a part of it and to help the community make the parade possible.
Absolutely. And we thank you for viewing and making us a part of your Morristown Christmas Parade. So we're going to sign off. I'm Mike Walker with the Citizen Tribune.
And Deborah Williams with the Morristown Area Chamber of Commerce.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.